Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Yes, yes, yes. It's Beer Bash. Welcome to Beer Bash on the Beerman Network. That's right, we're back here on our Ustream channel because you know what? On Facebook, it tells a story, but on YouTube, they won't let me do it from the tablet. So, Ustream.tv tells me, guess what? You can do whatever you want from the tablet. So, hello. We are here. We are live. The Beer Bash. Look at this big bottle of platinum I found. Bud Light Platinum. How about that? 32 ounces, baby, of platinum. Yeah! 32 ounces of this bad boy. How about that? Or am I misreading? Is it only 22 ounces? Okay. See that? I misread it. The other day I thought it said 32. No, beer man. It clearly states that's 22 ounces of beer. So, let's pop it open and begin the beer bash. 22 ounces, baby. Well, after this long week, I have to have a beer. Nice cold one, too, you know what I'm saying? So this is 22 ounces of Bud Light Platinum. So, $3. I mean, really, $3 for 22 ounces. It is platinum after all. And it is 8% alcohol. I don't know if you can see that or not. Pretty sure this thing's the same percent of alcohol as any other Bud Light Platinum. So, let's do a weekend review. How's that sound? How about the Phillies? 4 in a row for the fighting Phillies. Let's talk some baseball. You know what? Beer and baseball go together as much as babes, booze, and beach go together. You know what I'm saying? That's my baby right now. Beer is not the name. Booze, babes, and beach. Or beach, babes, and booze. Whatever order you want to say it. It's triple B. And that's my baby as we're here at the 6 o'clock hour. We are live here on Ustream.tv, the Beerman Network. The Beer Bash. 22 ounces of beer in the bottle. That's right, 22 ounces, baby. So anyway, the Phillies, 4 in a row. There's a lot of trade talk. John Mayberry Jr. is the hottest name. Every GM in baseball wants to talk to the Phillies about Mayberry Jr. And last night, Mayberry Jr. did nothing with the bat. So there you go. Ryan Howard stepping up, being star of the game, delivering the win for the Fightins in his native St. Louis as the Phillies win game 1 of 4. And you know, I've been thinking about this. We used to do a show called the MLB Wrap-Up. I would love to bring it back. The only problem is it aired at 11 o'clock East Coast time at night. It's going to be kind of hard when I have to be up for work at 5 a.m. So maybe before the end of the baseball season, when things are expected to be different, maybe then we'll have it for you. But for right now, no go for MLB Wrap-Up's return on the Beerman Network. But the NBA draft's coming up on Thursday night, so 6 nights away to the NBA draft. The Philadelphia 76ers hold pick 7 and no, they all see. I'm getting confused because today there's a report that the 76ers are trying to get pick number 7 from the LA Lakers. They hold picks 3 and 10 in that draft, and the one guy who was expected to go in the top 3 is actually hurt now. He hurt his foot. And there's reports out there suggesting the Sixers might go ahead and get that 7th pick and put the guy on ice like they did for Noel's Noel. There we go. Taking the names and flipping them around here. It is the end of the week, like I said, but and it is the Beer Bash something we've done this show before. It was a great show we used to do over on, I guess we used to do this show over on YouTube. I tried to bring it back on YouTube, but the problem is that it didn't work. Now the only thing I have to check is I have to see if this is shared on Facebook that we're live. So give me a minute as I step out of camera range to go check, okay? Alrighty, coming back into camera range is the Beerman. Ugh. Yeah, I'm getting old. So anyway, we are live for the Beer Bash here on the Beerman Network. We did finally make it on the air. Problem is, I don't know if it got shared on Facebook and Twitter like it's supposed to. Oh, look at that, it is there. It's there, but survey says, of course, it's not public. Whew. Man, you know, they used to do this stuff where they would let these things go public. Now all of a sudden, it's like nobody knows we're live, so now I have to go and share it that we're live. So make sure it says public so everybody knows. I don't know what they do with Twitter though, if it just tweets out or what, but this way, there you go. So let me just share it again so everybody knows the Beer Bash is here. You know, sometimes we have a lot of fun with this. We really do. I mean, maybe we have too much fun. And no, this is not at the bar with Beerman. This is Beer Bash. Straight up. We're a little late. I promised it. So, the Beer Bash. 22 ounces is on the menu today. I only have 2 of them. $3 a pop at a local establishment. Gotta love it. But, so, the Beer Bash is now live. Pretty program like, what the heck are you talking about there, man? First, the Beer Bash ain't happening. Then the Beer Bash is happening over on Ustream. Like, dude, I thought you said you're done with Ustream. Well, guess what? You're never done with anything. Let's face it. You can say 100 times over that you're done with something, but in reality, you're never done with anything. Let's face it. In this world, as long as you're breathing, you've still got a shot to be doing anything or everything. Anything's possible. You know what? The one lesson I learned in life is never say never, okay? Never say never. Because if you do say never, well, then guess what happens? What happens is you make a fool out of it all. And next thing you know, boom, it's like, you know, next thing you know, it's, dude, it's like, it's rigged, dude, it's rigged. Yeah, my phone's ringing now. It's Scott Mattisall to tell me it is rigged, dude. It's totally rigged, dude. So, anyway. Look, life is rigged at times. And you know what? I wrote a comment the other day on Facebook about life is full of ups and downs. It's how you bounce back from the downs that makes you. And you know what? That couldn't be more true. So, really though. Life is full of ups and downs, and it's how you bounce back from the downs that make you. So, hey, look, you know what? Things happen. You can't sweat what happens. You got to say, you know what? I'm not going to let it get me down. I'm going to keep doing my thing. And tonight, it's a relaxed beer bash. So, I mean, let's face it. So, you know what the song says? I crashed my car off a bridge. I don't care. I love it. All right, enough of that. Anybody out there think that this Iraq thing's going to turn into something major? You know, Glenn Beck's on his show this morning saying all this stuff about, oh, this Iraq thing's going to become huge. It's going to be the disaster. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. Gas prices are going to go to $200 a barrel for oil. Really? Come on, dude. You've done this before to us, Beck. Enough. I mean, you come on your show and you're babbling about, oh, well, gas prices will now go up to this price. You won't be able to afford gas this winter because the oil prices are going to be $200 a barrel. You try to scare people, Glenn. Come on, man. Seriously. Don't try to scare people, dude, because then people do stupid things. They quit their jobs or they do something stupid. And then they're sitting there on the corner starving for a meal. They're homeless and they're begging for change. It just doesn't equal a very good thing, if you know what I'm saying. It just doesn't equal a good thing. Bottom line is this, peeps. Bottom line is this. It's Friday night. It's already like 6 o'clock on the East Coast time. I've got a 22-ounce bottle of 8% alcohol beer in front of me. And I'm living it, okay? I'm living it. So, live in the moment. Have a good time. It's Cold Beer with the Beerman on the Beer Bash on the Beerman Network on Ustream.tv. Welcome to another inventive, creative broadcast. The Beerman has the clock behind him to tell you what time it is. So we don't have to sit here and go, news time. News time. I mean, seriously, this ain't the news. This is the Beerman, for crying out loud. You know, you can't get this anywhere else but here on the Beerman Network. It's your Beerman. And you know, I got a feeling somehow, some way, the Philadelphia Phillies are going to make the playoffs. And guess what? If they do, we might have tickets for you. You might actually get the opportunity to take in a Phillies playoff game with, ready? With me, the Beerman. Could you imagine what it would be like to be able to take in a Phillies playoff game sitting next to me? It probably would make me happier than it would make you, honestly. I mean, let's face it. You'd be like, okay, I got free tickets off this chump. What do I care that I'm sitting next to him? I got here for free. Come on, keep it real. I got here for free. I don't care that I'm sitting next to the guy that used to sell the beer during the World Series run in Philadelphia, 2008, 2009. I was the guy that was bringing it to the seats during the whole thing. I was bringing those Miller Lights on ice. And I was saying it with a yo, not a hey, a yo. See, that's the thing. You don't have people like me come around often. We're once in a lifetime. Just about every person that I've met, either in person or on the internet, has said the same thing. You know what, Beerman? You're one of a kind. Not one in a million, but one of a kind. Because you can unveil it, or you can reveal, or you can say Disney World. You know, I used to mess up all those words, and I used to always get the feedback on the internet, on the radio message boards. I used to go there and get excited reading all the feedback. Why? Because, let's face it, like that other guy says, I love the publicity. So if you're going to tell your friends anything, make sure you tell them about the Beerman. Tell them about the Beer Bash. Tell them about the Beerman Network at beermannet.com. And while you're at it, tell them to like Beerman Network's page on Facebook. That's right. Tell them to hit the like button on the Beerman Network's page on Facebook. Because the Beerman wants to grow this puppy to a monster. That's what I want to do. I want to bring you live broadcast from the shore, from Florida. I want to go live in places that are fun. Not places that are boring, but places that are fun. I love the Jersey Shore. Why do I love the Jersey Shore? Babes in bikinis. Frozen pina coladas. Not the beach. I like the beach, but I hate the sand. If I was a millionaire, I would create a beach that was made out of something other than sand. My personal opinion of sand is it is disgusting. Imagine laying there on a beach towel getting sand all over you. It's gross. What do people do when they stay a week down the shore? They go to the beach, they go back, take a shower, and then they head to the bar and have themselves one of these. Bud Light Platinum, your favorite beverage of choice. Tell them that the Beer Man recommends it. Hi, Beer Man here for Bud Light Platinum, the best beer I've ever had. Be sure to stop by your local establishment and pick up one today. It's the drink of the Beerman Network, Bud Light Platinum. And on the other side, though, I don't have one here tonight, but Razarita, also made by our good friends at Bud Light. See that? Now send me a check. I just gave you a free commercial. Send me a check. I'm drinking your product. How about send me at least a couple free cases of this stuff? It's not cheap. $3 a bottle? I mean, really though. I know I could buy about a case and get it for like $1, but it's only 12-ounce bottles. But hey, what can they say? What can I say? What could you say? What could the guy around the corner say? The bottom line is, it's Friday night. It's the end of the week for many. Tomorrow, I'll be at work. So, having one 22-ouncer tonight because I have to work tomorrow. Next time, I'll probably have a lot more than one because I won't be working tomorrow next time on the Beerman Bash. But anyway, bottom line is, I was like, you know what? Let's go old school tonight. This was one of my favorite shows to do over at YouTube. So I said, okay, let me see if I can hook up YouTube on the tablet. Well, I played around with it. It just didn't go on. So I was like, you know what? Forget it. I was like, guess where we're going? We're going over to Ustream.tv because they have an app that lets me broadcast live from my tablet. Here we are. We're live from the tablet. So, I know, you guys probably like, you know, last time I tried to go live from the Jersey Shore and it didn't work too well right here on Ustream.tv. But you know what? Everything has a use. The bottom line is to get you guys a live broadcast back from the shore would take a lot because, let's face it, the signal down the shore is terrible. So, can't help that. The signal's terrible. Tried my best. A live broadcast from the shore, this won't happen, but we put together a little video. We put it on the Beerman Network page on Facebook. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. And that's that. Now, a couple people actually that I know that's seen it, they didn't like the video, but hey, what am I going to do? I didn't take a lot of time out of your day. I only took a couple of minutes to show you that video. But you know what? I also didn't show you on that video that I was holding in one hand a monstrous pina colada. I know, I should have a picture to exhibit. Absorb, there we go. Let's see, is there anything here in Prop Central that I can grab that looks like it? Well, let's put it this way. This is what they use to make it. Bacardi. I'm sure they put some Bacardi in there. But I don't have a cup that's the size of it to show you. I will take a picture of it. I actually probably have a picture of it somewhere on my Facebook page in my pictures. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. I know, you're like, Jesus, dude. It's like, no dead air, dude. No dead air. Remember that number one rule of broadcasting, there is to be no dead air. Dead air will not be tolerated. Dead air will not be allowed. There will be no dead air. So, you know what, Beerman? You just have to run with it, okay? Keep the ball moving, and there you go. So, you've got to keep the ball moving. And if you don't keep the ball moving, well, guess what's going to happen to you? If you don't keep some kind of talk going, then you become yesterday's news. You really do. You become yesterday's news. So, I don't want to become yesterday's news. I want to become the headline of tomorrow's news, because who will be here in the future? It's the Beerman Network. We'll be here in the future, okay? We're not going anywhere because, you know why? Because we're drinking Bud Light Platinum, a winning beer, okay? This is good beer. Now, a lot of people probably say, oh, you know what, dude, it's just 8%, and we're not a big fan of 8%. Well, you know what I got to say to you is give it a shot. Try a Bud Light Platinum next time you're at the bar. Tell that fine-looking bartender chick you want a Bud Light Platinum. I'm sure she has them in stock. If she don't have them in stock, you're probably at the wrong bar. Tell her that I said that the beer man always keeps it in stock. So when you're hanging out with the beer man at a tailgate when he brings a case of this, when we finally do our live tailgate from South Philly, when I'm broadcasting, I'll have a case of this sitting there, and of course you got to be over 21 to drink it. So that's how we're going to do that, okay? We're going to do a live tailgate, and you're going to have to be over 21 to get involved with it. And that's the bottom line. I know I'm a terrible TV host as I have my head down looking here to spread the word, as they say. Put the word out there and tell the world that you're live because you want people to come check it out live. So I actually put it on the wrong page. So I'm now going back trying to find the page that I was actually looking for originally. And we'll see if we can get it on there because there's a lot more people hanging out over there. You know, you got to promote in all the right places. You know, you ever hear that song? All the right friends in all the right places. By the way, speaking of right friends in the right places, how about the Tom McCarthy interview last night? Finally put that out there to you guys. Finally, it's out public. So if you haven't seen it before, then you had your shot to finally see it. So, yep, you finally got your chance to see. You finally had the opportunity to see and actually hear my Tom McCarthy interview from 2010, which was a classic. That we shared a lot with you on that interview. I mean, let's face it, in that interview, we also predicted that Cliff Lee would return to the Phillies. And when I'm on a vacation with my family in Disney World, I find out Cliff Lee has signed with the Phillies. Guess who was the most happiest guy in the world? Your good old friend, the beer man. So, your good old friend, Mr. Beer Man, good old me, was, you know what, let's do this. I don't like the look I have with the glasses on. You know what, I just don't like that look. I want the look without the glasses. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a fan of that look. I just don't, I know, I'm 37 years old, and everybody says to me, dude, you need your glasses, but, see, I'm trying to refocus my eyes now, and you can see the squinting. Yeah, because Beer Man took his glasses off. Everybody tells me that. You know, it's funny, I worked at a bank in 2004. I used to have customers come in, and they would say, dude, you need a pair of glasses, man, go get glasses. And I'd be like, yeah, I know. I was like, yeah, nah, whatever. I'm not getting glasses. That's the way I was. I didn't want glasses. I mean, I didn't want to go bold either, but look at me, it's a sign of what's happening. I mean, it's just the way life happens, You go bold, and you got to wear glasses, and all this other crazy stuff happens as you get older. But, it's funny because I was listening to former Philadelphia meteorologist John Bolaris on his internet show this morning. He actually did a show in the mornings called Dead Weatherman. And his fiancée came on camera this morning. And, it's funny because a lot of people don't like John Bolaris. And John Bolaris has rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. I can understand what the dislike is. But I'm not one of those guys who's going to kind of hold things against people. I believe that people, look, I've seen a lot of people die, okay, and they were close to me. A lot of close people died to me. I had a good friend that I worked with down at the ballpark by the name of Chris DeWicki. He was a former United States Marine. He was killed at a bar on a Friday night in the summertime. It wasn't June, but it was around July or August, I believe. Chris was the nicest guy you would meet. Now, his daughter, Nicole, told me the day of his funeral that he dubbed me as being Motormouth. He dubbed me as Motormouth. And You know, a lot of people say, dude, how do you do a talk show and talk to people? Because, during my interviews the last several weeks, I've learned to just let the guests talk. But at the same time, I try to get what I want to say out there too. And I just realized something. When you're drinking and all, you're probably better keeping the glasses on. Yeah. So back on they go. You can see a hell of a lot better with them. So I guess you know what? Who cares what you look like? I mean, bottom line is, I'm not going to get a TV gig because look at me. I mean, I'm not eye candy. You know what? Find me 10 attractive women to tell me I'm eye candy, and if you can find 10 attractive women that call me eye candy, well then you're my hero. Because let's face it, it's not possible. Okay? I know what I am. I am what I am. I mean, I stand at 6'2". I weigh in almost at 270. Not a small guy. And the funny thing is, at my job, there's a lot of chicks. I mean, I'm going to keep it real with you. There's a lot of good-looking women. I mean, to say it politically correct and radio-wise, there's a lot of good-looking women. But, you know, I think sometimes I read into, like, the looks I get from these women. I don't know. You know, I am cool, confident, and cocky, and I've got my sideburns that I've showed you the other night. I got these long-ass sideburns going. It's kind of making up for the no hair in the front factor. As you can see, my receding hairline. But I'm an honest guy, That's the one thing. I would think people would love that, I would think that the word would get out there, hey, there's this honest guy on the internet. He runs a Beerman Network. He's done radio, TV, and the internet shows for years. And I've done 1,000+ shows on the internet alone, okay? I've been all over this internet. From NowLive.com to LiveVideo.com to BrickHouseRadio.com to BunRadio.com. Do I need to go on? I mean, I've been at a lot of different places on the internet broadcasting. And you, the viewer, is what I'm here for. I come back to entertain you. And I hope you find my gimmick entertaining. Or, I guess, what is a gimmick, though? Bottom line is, I'm here to play to the audience. And I'm not going to lie to you. Like I said, I'm an honest, straightforward guy. I'm not sitting here trying to lie to anybody, okay? I'm going to tell you the truth. I like to keep it as professional as I can, but you know what? A show like this is Beer Bash. Sit back and relax. So, bottom line is, sit back and relax. The thing is, I do a lot of unscheduled shows lately. I'm just popping up. It's either I'm popping up on a Facebook video or I'm popping up here on Ustream TV. I mean, I did say I teased Beer Bash and I canceled it, then I realized, wait a minute, we got Ustream TV. I'm here. Here we are. So, hopefully you're enjoying this. And like Mike Digital said the other day, he said, you know what, Beer Man? People will come to your shows on a recorded basis. So, we're going to record this, like I said. That's what we're doing. We're recording it. It's Beer Bash. Record it. When we did the original Beer Bash, we had about 4 or 5 guys that would come in and hang out. So, that's fine. I mean, look, like I said, I'm here to tell it like it is. I'm not here to give you a bunch of mumble jumble. I think I gave you some content. Everybody always says, oh, a show needs content. Well, I did talk about the Phillies, the Sixers, and then I mixed in some other shenanigans. And that's it. Look, bottom line is, people told me, when you're passionate, you come and you do what you like to do. And eventually people will accept you for who you are, and they will get used to you, and they will come back. And they'll say, you know what, Beer Man, pour me a cold one. Or pop me open a cold one, man. I want a part of this. I want to be a part of something great. They said Rome wasn't built overnight. I've heard a lot of different things from people in the last couple days. And it's right. Rome wasn't built overnight. We had great numbers Sunday night when we had Hollywood on. We had Corrado and Victoria came on the show on Spreecast. It's at the website, beermannet.com. It's had over 500 hits, okay? 250 live, and then the rest is through the archive. Those numbers are real, they're damn real, and that's that. Thank you for tuning in, because you tuned in to something good, and hopefully you were informed by the interview and the conversation. So, we open phone lines, but people, you know what? That's the one thing I don't get. People do not pick up their phones and dial in. Why is beyond me. Glenn Wilson was here, Victoria, Corrado, and nobody called in for these folks. We had Rich Quinones on. We had Jerry Campbell on. He got some phone calls. Jerry Campbell has a huge following. He had a lot of phone calls, actually. These are the shows of the past month and a half, I guess we'll say. It's been about a month and a half. You know, and it's a shame that we couldn't get that live thing going with Glenn Wilson. We were going to bring him out. And unfortunately, it just wasn't feasible. The economics at this time weren't available. It's just not, it's not a fit for either party. So you can't do it. If you can't do it, you can't do it. As much as I would have loved to do it, it's just unfortunate that, you know what? And Glenn Wilson's a great guy. And for weeks, Anthony was a great caller, great co-host. It was awesome to have Anthony calling in and participating and co-hosting with me and coming up with different subjects. Anthony was definitely a great co-host. And I honestly believe that Anthony could get on any powerhouse AM radio station or FM station and do his own talk show. Anthony has a lot to contribute to a talk show. And tonight, it's Beer Bash. This isn't a talk show. This is me drinking beer, telling you some stories. You know, we could start from the beginning if you want me to get into the good old stories. We could talk about the Super Bowl in 2005. We could talk about the World Series in 2008. And it was all in Florida. See, all the good things happened in Florida. And that's why I wanted to move our headquarters to Orlando. Because all the good things happened in Florida. All the good memories were in Florida, even though the Eagles lost the Super Bowl. And the Phillies lost that game in Game 2 against Tampa Bay. But they came back to Philadelphia to win the World Series in Game number 5. Phillies came home and swept the Rays. True story. I'm standing there in Tampa, in Tropicana Field, eating a cheeseburger, and these fans with Tampa jerseys are coming by, and I'm literally stuffing my mouth with this cheeseburger, and I'm like, you're coming back to my house. We're going to sweep you. And then I walk outside and it starts to rain. Remember, it's a dome there at Tropicana Field. I walk outside and it starts to rain. Well, let me tell you what happened. There's a guy in a limo hanging out his moonroof saying, oh, yeah, man, I'm cool. Me and him got into it. And I mean, some words were exchanged. It was like, mother effer and everything like that. Well, there was a sheriff on the corner doing traffic detail. Guess what happened? Comes up to me and says, one more word out of you and you're going to jail tonight. Wow. I just scared the living hell out of me. Sorry, sir. And moved on to my rental car and got the hell out of there and drove back to Disney World and practically in tears. Why? Because the emotions were running wild. The Phillies just lost Game 2 of the World Series, my first ever World Series game in my life. I was never at a World Series game until that night in Tampa. So maybe you could understand why I was in tears driving back. And a lot of emotions hit me. 2008 was a rough year for me, and that's all I want to say about that. But I will tell you, it was a very rough year for the Beerman. But the Phillies won the World Series, and the night after the parade in Atlantic City, the Beerman finally took something off his bucket list. And I got pretty drunk in Atlantic City, okay? I was at the Showboat Bar. I was at the Taj Mahal invited slot tournament with drinks. I was at the Caesars Bar, open bar, Caesars VIP room. I was over at another bar, and that's where the magic happened. And that's all I'm going to say about that. You know, if you're persistent and you go after something, you will walk out onto that Atlantic City boardwalk and say, I am the man. And that's all I'm going to say about it. It was good times. So, you know, I lived the dream, okay? I lived the dream. You know, and I'll tell you right now, I could drop dead 1 second from now on this camera, and I have really eliminated a ton of things from my bucket list. No joke. No joke whatsoever. I really have lived to the fullest. But there are more things on my bucket list. And yes, I plan on getting everything off my bucket list. Because I'm a man with a vision. And you know, it's funny because one of the things on my bucket list was to be on Dick Clark's Rockin' Eve on New Year's Eve. Well, the opportunity knocked, the producer's going around, and I said, hey, buddy, can I say something to Dick Clark? He says, no, but I got something for you. Well, I wait. Here comes Jenny McCarthy. He's like, dude, you're going to say, Jenny's going to interview you, and you're going to say some BS line. He wanted me to be a puppet. Well, as soon as we went live, you all know what happened. But what you don't know what happened is before we went live, something did take place. Jenny McCarthy starts cursing at her producers like, what the F is this? I wish we had video on it, because I swear that this really happened. And I'll tell you, if I had the tape on that, whew, that would have been a huge, huge story. Which Jenny turned to me and looked at me and said, I have a minute to fill. And I said, I got you. And she knew when she came to me, Jenny already knew in her head. Why do you think in that video Jenny shoots a look at the camera like her jaw drops? Like, wow, this guy is good. Because I told her before we went live, I've got you. And I'll be honest with you, my nerves were through the roof, knowing that I'm going to be on coast-to-coast TV with a live mic. You guys know the final product. And you'll see in the end, that's why I know the camera's there, and of course I'm so excited, I didn't even think about how I would look. But you know what? Off my bucket list, I was on ABC with Jenny McCarthy, and I got to cross that off my bucket list. It's Beer Bash. Wow. Somebody didn't like that story. Hater. Hater. You know, somebody popped in, and when I said it, they rolled out of here faster than you could say bye. That was pretty funny. They came in, whoop, off they went. That is pretty epic. So, oh boy, Cape May Bridge is closed in both directions. I don't think anybody wants news updates on this show. But, hey, what can I tell you? You know what? I feel accomplished. I feel great. I had my 22-ounce beer. And, you know what? I'm happy. So, but I'll tell you what. We're going to go ahead, close the door. Wish there was some more. This has been the Beer Bash on the Beerman Network. Be sure to check our website at beermannet.com and like us on Facebook. It's the Beerman Network page on Facebook. For now, I'm the Beerman saying, have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon on the Beerman Network.